Welcome, everyone. This is a student panel discussion hosted by the Stanford Fund. We're joined by a few of our current undergraduate students, and they're going to spend a few minutes sharing a bit about themselves and their experiences here on the farm. Both the students and myself wanted to use this as an opportunity to let you all know how much we appreciate your support and how grateful we are. To kick things off, I thought I'd turn over the conversation to our students and let each of them introduce themselves. Sheck, do you want to start?
How you doing? My name is Sheck Mulbah. I'm a sophomore, class of 2020 here at Stanford, and I'm originally from Liberia, Monrovia, and I immigrated to America in 2002, specifically to Harlem, New York. And thank you so much for your contributions to Stanford and for continuously supporting the students.
Hi, everyone. I totally agree with Sheck. Thank you again for supporting Stanford and for all of us who are students here right now. My name is Kinsey Morrison. I'm a senior studying international relations, and I have a minor in Spanish. I probably deserve one in Spanglish, but they're being nice to me and letting me graduate with the Spanish minor. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I had a little bit of an interesting path to Stanford. Stanford was my very first college tour. I actually got to come here and visit because my mom had 2 random free airline vouchers, and so I was able to use those to come to San Francisco, and I knew that Stanford was a school I was really interested in, and so we missed our Caltrain, though, to actually get to the school, so we took an $80 cab ride so that we could get to the tour on time. But long story short, my tour guide, Aishu, was amazing. My very first college tour was the best one I ever had, and so I was really pretty set on Stanford from my sophomore year in high school. It was a long road to get there, from Kentucky to get all the way out here, but I made it, and about 7 years later, I'm getting ready to graduate. So I'm so grateful for everyone at the school for helping make that journey possible. I'm one of the first people in my family to go to college, and so just being here near the end is really gratifying to see that all come to fruition.
Fantastic, thank you. Sheck, a question for you. I understand you were part of the Leland Scholars Program when you started at Stanford. Could you tell us a little bit about that program and your experiences with it?
Well, LSP, short for Leland Scholars Program, is a program centered on helping students from low-income or first-generation backgrounds and helping them thrive in an environment where matriculation into university may be very tough. And that program was just very homely. Once I entered, the staff there was smiling. They knew my name. I was just thrown off a little bit because what I was told about Stanford was, everybody here, we're academically focused. Nobody wants to talk to you, this and that. So it was very interesting to see. Everybody was just very opening and welcoming. And it was amazing. The 3 weeks I spent here, I believe I was in Twain housed there, and that was amazing. Seeing the campus for the first time, exploring, but then also taking a course load and being prepared academically as well. It was the perfect chance for somebody just leaving a high school that wasn't nationally the best, but being given a chance to come into the Stanford community and thrive both socially and academically.
Fantastic, thank you. And Kinsey, you co-founded a student group on campus called Stanford Women in Politics. Could you tell us a little bit about what your organization does and why you were inspired to co-found it?
Yeah, absolutely. So in 2016, 2 years ago, I co-founded SWIP, as we call it, with my friends Shivani Pampati and Hattie Gawande, 2 other incredible seniors. They're graduating with me this year. And so we really wanted a group that would empower women on the college campus now, because we think that creating a community of women who are interested in politics and who are considering running for office in the future, really building that community now is the way to provide the support system that they'll need to pursue those political goals later, when there are so many glass ceilings and when there's going to be so many other people telling them that they can't do those dreams and they can't accomplish the things they want to accomplish. We want to have created that community in college that tells them they can. And so it's really important, we think, for us to start that process early. And so we do some mentorship even before college, with other high school students, and trying to really give back to, having the kind of mentorship that we wish we'd had when we were younger. So that's definitely been one of the most powerful and rewarding things I think I've done in college, because there is a huge community aspect of it. That's one of our, again, of course, most important things, but we also do professional development and educational teach-ins for the entire Stanford community on different issues that affect women in the political arena. And so I think just figuring out a way to think about what did I not have my freshman and sophomore year what community was I missing, and how can I make sure that for the next generation of Stanford students, that community is there. I think SWIP was a way for me to do that, and so Hattie, Shivani, and I have been really, really happy to see that in some small way we've hopefully made Stanford a better place for the women who come after us.
That's fantastic. I thought we could touch a little bit upon the connections you've each developed on campus as well. Could you tell us about a faculty member, an RA, a staff person, or really anyone else on campus that's had a major influence on your experience here?
For me, I'll definitely say Professor. He's, I believe, the program director for the program in writing and rhetoric, Professor Adam Banks. And yeah, once I got on campus, this dude was just fully there of support. And the thing that I really enjoy about him is he's always authentically his same self in every setting, in the classroom, in a board meeting. Like, he's always the same. And that he has inspired me to try to live my most authentic life, because some people get to college and you change up, and I wanted to make sure that my community and the traditions from my community and our culture stays the same, and I want to make sure that I am someone that's broadcasting that culture onto Stanford's campus and normalizing people to that culture, so it's not foreign or seems something strange. And it's amazing. He's continuously helped me in the amazing courses that he has me encouraged me to take, and he's just always there. Like, we'll always catch lunch, or he'll help me fix up my bike. There's even like helping me, if I'll talk to him, he connect me with another professor who like wants to teach me how to drive stick and everything like that. It's just, the dude's well connected and he's amazing as well. And I guess, yeah, he was able to help me secure a job as well, and that was amazing. Once I got to campus as a freshman, I was like, wow, like already the first month and I'm having a job, and it was amazing, and he's an amazing professor.
And what do you do? What's your job on campus?
Well, my old job was I was working in his department in the program in writing and rhetoric, and I helped in regards to office management, so I'll just help out. But it was amazing to see like the Stanford independent studies and seeing the different professors and interacting with them on a level outside of class. And now currently I work in the Black House, but because of my connections with power and working in that building, every time I take a power class, the professor's like, oh yeah, I've seen you before, like I've seen you delivering mail and stuff like that, so we're very homely and very close.
Fantastic. How about you, Kinsey?
Absolutely. I think, I've had so many incredible people, real adults at Stanford who have really helped guide me. But I think for me, it's the staff members who have been, I think, probably the most influential and who've been the most, I think, constantly dedicated to making Stanford feel like home for me. A couple that I think have been especially influential, Megan and Peter at the Haas Center. Megan was absolutely crucial in helping us start Stanford Women in Politics, and just to have, this empowered, inspiring woman, leading up so many public service efforts at Stanford, I think was really proof to me that I could do something like that too. And she's just been such a huge help to us throughout, our time in working on SWIP. And then when Peter, he's pretty new to Stanford, but when he got here, he's also been incredibly helpful. And, we get lunch together quite frequently. And he has a newborn daughter who, I hold sometimes for some baby therapy too. So great family affair. But yeah, the Haas Center in general, I think has been a great home for me on campus, because they're so well connected to the world outside of Stanford, and I think really keep students grounded in reality and service in a way that I think is really, really important. And then one other staff member that I wanted to shout out is Pedro, who is the amazing custodian in my house called Mars, which is on the row. And he is what I call him my Spanish tutor, because every time, we talk to each other every morning, and he'll, teach me little things about Spanish grammar or different things like that. And he has just the most incredible story. He's a Mexican immigrant who was not able to finish his own education, but he came here to create a better life for his children and grandchildren. And now I think really works hard every day to help the students at Stanford complete their education. And just his dedication to that is so inspiring. And I'm so grateful to all of the work that he and all of the other staff do at Stanford to really make this a home for us and a place that we can thrive.
That's fantastic. So obviously Stanford is a beautiful campus, and I'm curious if either of you have like a favorite place on campus, or if there's somewhere on campus that's important to you.
That one, I can go if you're thinking. Yeah, for me, I think what's more important than the place is the people that I'm sharing it with. I do have a place, and I'll say that in a second, but I think the most important gift that Stanford has given me is the chance to be around people who I really feel like do understand me and who get me and sort of have this like unconditional acceptance and love for me, which I had never quite had before coming to Stanford with, you know, my friends, my family, of course, but, you know, they have to love me. So, you know, to have that with friends here is so, so special. And so I think wherever, you know, I am when I'm with them, that's always a place that I really appreciate. But in particular, I think my favorite place is Coupa Cafe on a Friday afternoon when I have a small coffee and banana chocolate chip pancakes. You can hear the fountain going right next to Green Library, and it's beautiful weather. That's just, I think, sort of the most like resort moment of Stanford's campus. So, so gorgeous. So if I can have that with some great friends, there's really kind of nothing better than that.
Fantastic. How about you, Sheck?
I would definitely say there are many places that come to mind, and I'm tempted to say places like the Black House or places like, you know, the DGen office. Those are places where I find solace and comfort, and even my home for 2 years now, Ujima. Those are places where I find myself being comfortable. But some place that really inspires me on campus, I would definitely say is the law school. When I go there, I typically go to like try to get to the top floor, try to sneak in through there, and you just get a beautiful view of campus, and you sit there and see all these legal textbooks behind you, and it's just inspiring me of what I want to pursue in the future. And being in that constant space of like people who are doing big things is crazy. Like some of the professors here are, you know, helping civil cases or helping like disband guerrilla warfare and fighting in Colombia and stuff like that. And they just come to school like it's regular. Like that type of thing is amazing to see how relaxed they are. And I get to, you know, have conversations and talk to them and reach out to them in this setting of like the Stanford Library, Law Library. It's amazing, and that's definitely some place I hold dear.
I would definitely agree to, you know, what Sheck said about some of the community centers and those are and ethnic themed dorms. I lived in Ujima as well as in Casa Zapata too, and both of those, El Centro Chicano, the Women's Community Center. I mean, I just can't say enough how much I think all of those spaces feel like a home on campus for so many students who otherwise wouldn't feel represented. And I think as two students of color here, you know, I'll shout it from the rooftops like how important I think those spaces are at Stanford to make the school really feel like home to students from all backgrounds. And so I totally agree with you on that too.
Kinsey, I know you're doing research for the first time this quarter. Would you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing?
Well, Sheck, great minds really think alike. I also, yes, I am doing research in the Human Rights Clinic in the law school. So really like everything that you were saying, I won't repeat all of it, but I think, you know, I completely agree. It is really inspiring to see the advocacy work, both the legal and just political advocacy work that happens in law school. I'll be heading there to do some homework right after too, so I'll probably see you there pretty frequently. But yes, I'm doing research in the law school Human Rights Clinic with James Cavallero and Ruhan Negra, and they have lots of amazing projects, but the one I'm specifically working on is a health survey in St. John the Baptist Parish in Louisiana. It's an area that has really, really high air pollution, and because of that, the risk of cancer is 800 times higher than the national average. And so I went on an alternative spring break with this law clinic to complete this health survey and to try to prove that there are really negative health effects in the community. And we hope that by completing that survey, it'll be able to be used for advocacy in Louisiana to make the air quality better and to help these families. So it is my first foray into research as a spring quarter senior, so it's never too late to try something new, but I found that really, really rewarding as well.
Fantastic. All right, so one last question for each of you. So what are your plans for after you graduate? And not to have Kinsey talk twice in a row, but Kinsey, so you are graduating this year, so why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so I am both sad and really excited to leave Stanford. I think, you know, the best thing that you can say about a university is it's prepared you for the next step and for whatever is coming next. And so I feel really confident that Stanford has, but it will be super sad to leave. In July, I am moving to North Carolina to UNC Chapel Hill, where I'm working on a project called Lead for America, which is a 2-year fellowship program in local government, similar to Teach for America, but instead of putting fellows into schools, we're putting them into local government. It is a nonprofit startup, so one of the riskier things that you can do as a 21-year-old, but I figured, I don't even have a dog to take care of right now, so if there's any time to take a risk, it's right now. So it's me, 2 seniors from UNC, and 1 senior from Harvard who are working together on this, and we've been very lucky to have some institutional support from the UNC School of Government and from the Haas Center at Stanford, who is funding my summer. So that's for sure what I'm doing for the summer, but if all works out well, that's what I'll be doing for the next couple of years.
Fantastic. And how about you, Sheck?
I would definitely say the future is a very scary place.
You got a lot
for me.
more time.
Yeah, I do have a lot more time, but I have started thinking a lot about it. So I've been trying to fit the requirements because I'm hoping to stay. I love Stanford so much. I want to stay 1 more year and try to co-term. And after that, I'm interested in also going to law school here. And so that has allowed me to pursue the Knight Tennessee scholarship and try to, pursue the Knight Tennessee scholarship and try to reach out to them and get into that graduate program. And it seems like the rest of my year is going to probably be here for a long time. But after that, I'm planning on going back to the East Coast and helping out a lot back there with my charter school and also as well as interning for a firm. I haven't chosen which one yet, but that's way later on.
You have it much more planned out well than I did as a sophomore, so I think you're going to be completely fine.
Hey, Sheck, you took a big step actually right before you got here today.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what you did.
I declared AAAS, African and African American Studies. That's just one of my 3 fields of studies. The other one, I'm going to double major as well in political science, and I'm going to minor in French.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Kinsey, again, congrats on graduating.
Thank you.
So Sheck is, of course, a sophomore. You're a senior. Do you have anything you want to pass on to him? Any words of advice or wisdom to share?
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think the biggest thing, and I kind of harped on it earlier with just the people that I've met being so important. Stanford is a big, diverse place, and I think it's easy, your freshman, sophomore year to feel like, okay, I've met almost everybody, but really you haven't, and there's so many new people that you can continue to meet, and I think keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone with that, meeting new people, exploring new places, both on and off campus, but really just don't give up until you feel like you've found the people who, again, really love you unconditionally and who really understand you well. Because I think, I've gone through so many different challenges over the past 4 years that I wouldn't want to go through again, but I know if I could go through them with the people that I have now, it would be so much of a different experience. And, whatever you go through, if it's with those people who you care about so much, I think that, yeah, it's all much better, and it really is about doing more with other people than doing more than other people. I think a lot of times in high school, we're all kind of on this hamster wheel of trying to work so hard to get into Stanford, and so once you get here, just trying to collaborate with people and not see it as this competition in any way is really important. So, but I think you already have that. We, like I said, we both lived in Ujima together, which is an amazing community. So stick with those people, and I think you'll be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you. All right, so we're going to let Sheck and Kinsey get back to studying. That's going to be it for our student panel, but thank you both for joining us. And once again, to our volunteers, we hope you know how much you're appreciated. If you're ever curious about what's happening on campus or how your gifts are supporting current students, please contact your class giving officer, and we hope to do this again sometime. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.